Hey guys, it's WR Purple Haze, Wrestling Revealed Purple Haze. I wanted to expand my horizons today by doing a PWG review. I'm going to be doing Kurt Russellmania. That's Russellmania. I decided to do this because they brought in a lot of great guys for this show. It was a really good card. Happened January 30th of this year. So a lot more competition with PWG reviews, but I really wanted to do a review for this one, so here we go. First off, before any of the matches, Matt and Nick Jackson and Brian Kendrick come out, the Young Bucks and Brian Kendrick. The Young Bucks say they're tired of their stage names. They want to be known as Max and Jeremy, Generation Me, because this is around the time they signed with TNA. Brian Kendrick gets angry because they don't think that they need him as, like, you know, a friend anymore. They don't need him to help out. He gets offended. They attack him. Paul London comes out for the save, and that sets up a match later in the night. Paul London and Brian Kendrick reuniting versus the Young Bucks. The first match was Ryan Taylor, Christina Von Eerie, and the Cutler brothers, Brandon and Dustin, versus Johnny Goodtime, Malachi C.K. Jackson, the brother of the Young Bucks, Candice, Lerea, and Jerome LTP Robinson. When I first saw this match, because this was one of my first PWG shows, I was really surprised seeing Christina Von Eerie against, and Candice LeRae against the guys. But they are two that can really fight against the guys. I mean, they really impressed. They were two of the best in the match. Christina Von Eerie is really interesting. But yeah, it was a good match. They brought in a lot of big guys for this show, so this is just kind of like to get rid of their core mid-card roster to put them all in one big match at the beginning. But it was a good match for what it was supposed to do, just fill up the card. The only complaint I have with this match is the ending. I mean, the Cutler brothers hit a tandem tombstone on Candice LeRae. Like, two big guys like them hitting a tag team move on the girl in the match. I mean, it's not a lot of momentum for you. But still a good match. 2 out of 5. I'll give it 2 out of 5 for this match. Next match is Brandon Gatson versus, I don't know why, but one of my favorites in PWG, Brandon Bonham. He's a great guy. He's got that flipping pile driver finisher. Not as good as P.D. Williams, but still really good. This was a good match. It was a really good chain wrestling match. A lot of counters for counters. That's what Brandon Gatson's known for. They give it some good time, but you're really in this match. It was good because you're not sure who's gonna win. You know, it goes back and forth a lot, but Brandon Gatson pulls out the victory with a front flipping side slam. I'm gonna give this 2.5 out of 5. It was a really good chain wrestling match. It was a good match to get it, you know, the crowd hyped up. Good opener. Actually, you know, I'm gonna change that. 3 out of 5. It was one of the better matches. Next match. Now, before I go on, I gotta say, what did ruin this card was Chuck Taylor was held up in snow. He couldn't make it to the card, so they had to rearrange half the card, switch up the matches. So I think if it was here, this would have been a near perfect card. But yeah, the next match was one of the matches that was switched up, but still ended up being, you know, a good warm-up match. Super Crazy versus Human Tornado. Super Crazy is not in the best shape right now, but he's still got the experience. He's still that veteran wrestler, and that really adds a good aspect to the high-flying of Human Tornado. It's not a really long match, but like I said, their styles do work pretty well together. Human Tornado pulls out the victory with a Cancun Tornado. 1.5 out of 5. Next match, on paper, it seems like an amazing match. It was one of those matches that was switched up, but still. Davey Richards versus Kevin Steen. Like I said, it sounds amazing, but it was a disappointment. The first half of the match was just a comedy match. You know, Kevin Steen does a few snot rockets. They're playing the crowd. It was disappointing. But the second half of the match, they really do get into, you know, wrestling, which is, you know, good. I mean, they worked great together. It was a really good second half of the match, but I think if they had done that the entire way, it would have been a lot better. 2.5 out of 5. Next match was a tag team match, which when I first saw it was going to be in it, I mean, I just marked out. It was great. Kai, who is the protege of his partner, the great Muta. I was just so excited when he came in. Versus the Dynasty, Scott Lost and Joey Ryan. It was a good match. Great Muta's protege Kai. Not many people have seen much of him, but he really impressed. This is one of his first matches in the US. He really impressed. I really enjoyed him. The Great Muta is out of his prime, but he's still one of the best in the world. It was kind of, just, oh my god, Great Muta's here. But you get to see the poison fog. He still, does his mind games. He's a great wrestler. And Scott Lost and Joey Ryan really had that great chain wrestling aspect to it. They really complement them. Great Muta ends up pinning Scott Lost with a Shining Wizard. It was a good match, like I said. I think if Great Muta had been, if it was Great Muta 10 years ago, it would have been an amazing match, but it was still great to see Great Muta. He beats Scott Lost with the Shining Wizard, 2.5 out of 5. And then the next 3 matches, last 3 on the card were just what made this card so great. Next match is El Generico versus Jushin Thunder Liger. I mean, Jushin's wrestled in WWE, TNA, he's one of the best in Japan. He's just amazing. If you haven't seen him, you have to see him in action. He's great. And I mean, these two really complement their styles. The Puro style of Jushin Liger versus El Generico, the Lucha Libre. It was a good match, a lot of really, chain wrestling. Sorry. One fact that the announcer said that I thought was funny is Jushin Liger has been wrestling longer than El Generico has been alive. But that really shows you, Jushin Liger's still able to wrestle at his age, which was really impressive. It was a good match. I really liked it. 3 out of 5. Next match, best match of the night. It was booked earlier, Brian Kendrick and Paul Lundrick reunite versus the Young Bucks / Generation Me, Matt and Nick Jackson / Max and Jeremy Buck. It was a really good tag team match. I mean, when you see these 4 guys, you know it's going to be, a spot fest. Some great high flying. I say spot fest like it's a compliment. I don't know how else to describe it. It was a really good high flying match. The Young Bucks got one of the best finishers today. I mean, more bang for your buck. That 450 followed by the moonsault. Great move. Paul London ends up picking up the victory over Matt Jackson, 4 out of 5. And then the main event, Rob Van Dam makes his return to wrestling in the US versus Chris Hero versus Roderick Strong. This is one of those dream matches. I mean, 3 of the best in the US today. I don't have anything against PWG for what I'm about to say, but I think this would have been better suited to a bigger company. I mean, the entire match was just playing the fact that Rob Van Dam is in PWG. So I think at a bigger company, this would have been a lot better. But it was still a really good match. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, Roderick Strong and Chris Hero were 2 of the best in the indie scene, and then Rob Van Dam. Their styles really do work well together, but Rob Van Dam took away from it. I hate to say that, but he's too big for PWG. 3.5 out of 5. overall, like, at the beginning I said this was one of the best shows I've seen from PWG. It was a great card, but during my review I did say it was a lot of disappointment, and don't take that harshly. I mean, I'm not saying it was like it was supposed to be a good match, disappointed and now it's bad. I mean, saying it was supposed to be amazing, it disappointed and it's still just really good. So I'm gonna give it 8 out of 10. I'm still doing CZW reviews, but I do wanna, you know, try something else. So if you have any suggestions on a review you want me to do, I'll be happy to put it into consideration. I'm not very picky on whatever company it is. I'm appealing to you, YouTube, so until next time.